Before we start, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, please. The Great Pyramid, Egyptian pyramid and one of the 7 wonders of the world. The Great Pyramid, or the Pyramid of Khufu, is the only surviving monument of the 7 wonders of the world, in the Giza Pyramids area in Egypt within the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The construction of the pyramid dates back to about the year 2560 BC, when it was built as a tomb for the 4th dynasty pharaoh Khufu, and it was continued by the General 20 version. The construction of the pyramid is a major cultural leap in the ancient history of Egypt. Khufu was influenced by his father, King Khufu, in building his pyramid. After his death, Khufu became the ruling god on earth, and it became necessary for him to think about building his tomb, which is the first national project in ancient Egypt, which was jointly built by professional workers from all over Egypt. The Great Pyramid, with its original height of 148 meters, remained the tallest building that humans had ever completed on Earth over a period of 3,800 years. The pyramid was built as a tomb for the 4th Egyptian pharaoh Khufu, and its construction lasted for 20 years. Some archaeologists believe that Tidi Vizier Hamayano was the architect of the Great Pyramid. It is believed that the Great Pyramid during construction was 280 feet long. The pyramid's mass is estimated at 5.9 million tons. The volume of the pyramid, plus the inner mound, is approximately 2.5 million cubic meters. Based on these estimates, building this pyramid in 20 years would require cutting, transporting and installing approximately 800 tons of stones per day. Likewise, because it consists of an estimated 2.3 million stone blocks, completing construction in 20 years requires moving about 12 stone blocks to their location every hour, day and night. The first accurate measurements of the pyramid were made by Egyptologist Sir Flinders Petrie from 1880 to 1882 and published under the title The Pyramids and Temples of Giza. Almost all reports are based on his measurements. Many of the cladding stones and blocks of the interior room fit together with extreme precision. Based on the measurements taken for the cladding stones of the northeastern side, the main entrance joints are only 0.5 millimeters wide. The Great Pyramid remained the tallest building in the world for 3,800 years, and no other building surpassed it until the summit of Lincoln Cathedral was built 160 meters high in 1300 AD. Accuracy in mastering the construction of the pyramid is represented in the 4 sides of the base. The average error is 58 millimeters in length. The lengths of the sides of the pyramid, which were measured as Petrie in 1925, are 230.252 meters, 230.454 meters, and 230.391 meters. The base of the pyramid is horizontal and flat within plus-minus sign 15 millimeters, 0.6 inch. Prince Hamuno was the architect of King Khufu. A statue of him larger than the normal size of limestone is preserved in the Romer Belasius Museum in Hildesheim, Germany. The priests and engineers were sent to the city of On in order to choose a name for the pyramid, and that name was Akt Khufu, meaning Khufu's horizon. It represents the horizon from which God Ra will board the boats of the sun in order to sail by them and the stars rowing for him. King Khufu is the first king to consider himself the god Ra on earth. We note that his son Khafre and his grandson Menkaure enter the name of the god Ra in their name. Some functions of the chamber system of the Great Pyramid remain obscure. Archaeologist Ludwig Burchardt tried to explain the function of the system according to the sequence of construction. According to that, it is believed that the construction process took place in 3 stages. In the first stage, the rock room was built to be the king's tomb room, then it was considered to be the queen's room, and in the third stage the great hall and the king's room were built. But today scholars believe that the system of chambers was originally set up as it is today and built according to this design. The chamber system appears to have reflected ancient Egyptian religious beliefs, but due to the absence of writing in the pyramid, the secret of this system remains mysterious. The systems of the chambers as well as the tombs of the pharaohs of that period were devoid of writing. and the writings inside the later pyramids began to appear about 250 years later during the 5th dynasty, starting with Pharaoh Anas, where we find the pyramid texts. These texts show the ancient Egyptian conception of the afterlife and the sanctification of the king after his death in those covenants. The original entrance to the pyramid chambers is located 17 meters above the ground, at the stratum stone covering 19. It is on the northern side and about 7 meters from the center line to the east. The reason for this displacement is not yet known. Above the entrance pass, there are 2 layers of large stones in the form of a pitched gable roof, each 2 meters thick. This gable roof may extend along this downhill corridor at the heart of the pyramid. The stone slab that used to block the entrance pass from the outside no longer exists. Vito Maragioglio and Celeste Rinaldi believe that the entrance to the pyramid was covered with a stone slab 1.2 meters high. The historian Strabon visited the pyramid in 25 BC and described it in his book Geography that its entrance was covered with a stone that could be opened. But the German archaeologist Stadelmann does not agree with him in that, and he suggests that the door was closed with stone pieces, like the rest of the pyramid, with the aim of camouflaging and concealing it. It is believed that the pyramid door was closed after it was stolen during the first transitional period with a stone slab, and then closed with stones from the casing stones, as finding the entrance during the reign of the Caliph al-Ma'mun was difficult. Today, tourists enter the pyramid through a tunnel dug by workers who were employed by the Caliph al-Ma'mun within the year 820. The original entrance was not known during the reign of the Caliph al-Ma'mun, and the workers dug a tunnel at the 7th layer of the pyramid and shifted about 7 meters to the west. The tunnel enters the body of the pyramid horizontally for a distance of 27 meters, 89 feet, then tends sharply to the left to meet the stones blocking the ascending path. Unable to penetrate these hard stones, workers dug up through the limestones that were easier to penetrate until they reached the ascending corridor. Entrance to the descending path is possible from this entrance, but entry is normally prohibited after the priests and workers put the mummy of a pharaoh or the mummy of the queen in its place. The workers close the room with huge granite stones. One of them was found in the cave. After placing the pharaoh's mummy in its place, his room is also closed, and the ascending passage from the bottom is closed with huge granite stones. These stones are stored in the Great Hall. Workers exit through the tunnel down to the descending corridor and from there to the outside, then the entrance to the pyramid is closed. We will meet you in a new story tomorrow, God willing. If you like the video, click like me and subscribe to the channel to receive all new. Bye.